How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to look at a few different sources about the recent rioting and looting going on. Now, I highlighted something here, and I've got a few sources I want to talk to you about, but let me read this here in the highlight. In 2018, where the homicide victim was black, the suspected killer also was 88% of the time. And this is not an exceptional situation. From 1976 to 2005, 94% of black victims were killed by other African Americans. It goes on further to say a little bit further down here, violent crime is commonly interracial. Whites kill whites, Hispanics kill Hispanics, and so on. So that takes me to this earlier from Mark Cuban. It's a tweet he put out, "Dear white people, we are the ones who need to change. This is not one man's story. This is almost every black man's story. Which is why the problem is ours. We need to find our way to change what we do. There is no quick fix. It's a moral imperative." Well, let's put those two together, and this leads me to this, and this is my cynical part. I love this stuff. I'm having fun here. Check this stuff out. This article here is from Forbes. He says, the title of it is Black Lives Matter, If You're White, Pass the Mic. So it says here, the George Floyd video seems so blatant. It's hard not to be moved by what one sees. Yeah, definitely. And I've talked about that. I think most of us have been moved by that. How could you not be? But this one incident, horrific though it is unfortunately only the latest incident on the back of many we know about, many we don't, and many we never will. White people can, by definition, never truly know what it is to live your life as black. Black friends tell me it's offensive and problematic when they try. In the aftermath of the Floyd killing, we have seen a surge in corporate statements, celebrity tweets, and social media posts from ordinary white people. The increased consciousness is welcome. Acknowledging racism and calling it out is a great first step, but ultimately, this increased awareness is useful only as far as it prompts policy changes, less racism, and more justice. I go back here to this article just once again. In 2018, where the homicide victim was black, the suspected killer also was 88% of the time. From 1976 to 2005, 94% of black victims were killed by other African Americans. All right, one more thing I've got for you here to kind of tie it together. The previous one, the guy was talking about tech companies. So this one from Fast Company says tech companies caring about Black Lives Matter is too little, too late. Companies like YouTube, Amazon, and Nextdoor need to stop black power washing their messaging when their business models exploit black people. We'll just read the first paragraph real quick. In the wake of the death of George Floyd at the hands of the police in Minneapolis and the protests that have ensued, companies large and small have decided that now is the time for them to make public their allegiance to the black community. Google, Amazon, Facebook, DoorDash, Reddit, Uber, Nextdoor, and Lyft are among the many who have issued statements of support. Google changed the look of their homepage. The publicity department of all of these companies have tweeted out or posted that Black Lives Matter and that they stand with the black community. We'll just leave this up here. Once again, that statement's highlighted. And this is the part I love. This is the cynical side of me that really comes out. One guy died. Certainly a tragedy the way it happened. No doubt that the family is going to have a huge hole in their lives for the rest of their lives due to their loss, the Floyd family, of course. But where were companies? Where was everybody? Where are celebrities? When every year thousands and thousands of individuals, and this is an argument you hear on the other side of things, but I'm going to try to put it in a way that I think about it when I hear people like this. Now, obviously, I don't know what everybody tweets about and what everybody says or what they discuss in their private lives, but what I do know is that every time a black guy shoots another black guy, from what I heard, I don't know if this is true, I didn't try to verify it, but from what I heard, there were 14 black individuals who were killed over Memorial Day weekend when this event happened with Mr. Floyd. But not a single one of them made the news. How many of them have a GoFundMe that's over $4 or $5 million by now? This is where the hypocrisy comes in. When you're out there and you are acting like you care about George Floyd in this way, but you don't care about other victims. You don't care about these other individuals who have been killed by other black people, these black people killed by blacks, or whites who are killed by cops, or Asians who are killed by cops, or Latinos if you want to just focus on police violence. If you're focused just on this one issue, just one individual, then you're a phony. You're a fake, you're a grifter, and you don't give a shit about George Floyd. You don't give a shit about the cause you're pretending to give a fuck about. You don't care about any of that. And I'd imagine a lot of you watching this video get that. If you want to claim to care about any kind of community, then it's got to be the whole community. It's got to be everything. You got to call it out. But the reality is, people who are going along with this stuff, trying to call this stuff out, trying to be out there protesting, they're cowards. They're nothing but cowards. They're weak, they're pussy, and I think the same is true of individuals like mayors, governors, and the same is true of these people on the boards who are trying to call this stuff out. Because it's easy. It's easy to call out a governmental structure. It's easy to call out the police because you know the police aren't going to do anything. But you go into Chicago, you go into that hood, and you try to call out these individuals that are shooting each other and killing each other on the streets daily, and that's why I'm saying they're pussy. They won't go where the real crime is at. It's easy. It's convenient to point the finger at somebody who you know won't fight back. And the cops, man, those poor fuckers, they always get such a bad name. I don't know why anybody would want to be a cop. I would say to any cop out there, if you're out there and you see the kind of hate you're getting, if you have an opportunity to leave your job, do it. Go to a different job. Do something else. Do anything else. Fuck those communities. If they don't want you there, fine. Let them fend for themselves without police presence there. And we'll see how they like it. Now, back to the corporations though. It's funny because, again, my cynical side tells me these companies are out there just trying to kiss ass of those individuals who are doing the looting and the rioting. Like I said, these criminals. And granted, they're not all black. Not all white, not all Latino. Everybody's getting into it, man. Everybody's getting their goods on, breaking into a Louis Vuitton store. I saw it at some mall. I can't recall where it was at, but they broke into a mall, raided the Louis Vuitton store. When I see individuals looting and rioting, but then I still see companies coming out in support and donating money to Black Lives Matter, oh God, I love it. They are coming up off of this big time. They are cashing that ring, 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 ring in that register. I love it. Companies are so weak. They're headed by weak individuals on their boards. And puss like Mark Cuban. The guy's a puss. So when you're out there, this is my final statement. When you're out there and you're not addressing the problem, you're not looking at the problem fully, and you're not looking at the solution, which is simple in theory, it's going to be hard to do. You have to change the mindset of individuals. Individuals have to know that they have a place in society, that the kind of behavior they're partaking in isn't proper. And that has to be taught early on in schools and in the home. It's easy. It sounds so easy, right? But it's not. Obviously, I know that. It takes generations to build up to that. But when you keep giving them handouts and giving people more money and supporting their causes, what's the message you're sending? If I were them, and this is my message to any looters out there, if you're a looter and you might happen upon my video and have watched it this far, do more. Now, I'm being cynical. I'm not advocating for that, but hey, between you and I, you know they're not going to do anything to you. Do more. Take more. And let me know what your eBay handle is so I can get me one of them Louis at half off for the missus, huh? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Have a good day.